Yet once I will shake the heaven and the earth and the sea and the dry land, and I will shake all nations, and the choice portions of all the nations shall come, and I will fill this house with glory, saith Jehovah Almighty. Mine is the silver, and mine the gold, saith Jehovah Almighty. For the glory of this house shall be great, the latter more than the former, says Jehovah Almighty. And in this place will I give peace, saith Jehovah Almighty, even peace of being, or soul, you want to use that term, for a position to everyone that builds to raise up this temple. I think that there's a whole lot that, to a certain degree, we don't understand in regard to these passages of Scripture. If there is no physical temple now in the land, which obviously used to have before, and we are the spiritual temple. We've been positioned as to be living stones in the temple. And if Jehovah says that the earth is his footstool and that the heaven is the throne, well, just how used is the temple? Let's not take in a physical sense here. It's all imagery, aspects, thoughts. And where he is, obviously, has to be the most holy, the most set apart. And that he is, we know that from scriptures, plenty of evidence that he is a separate being that is totally out of this physical creation, physical sphere. And that is the place that is most holy. And after that, we come into the holy place that is before the most holy, where most of the activities goes on in the sphere that we do not see yet, which one day we'll see. And then this earth, which is the footstool. Shouldn't we look at this as, in a sense speaking, that Father Jehovah is saying that from the most holy place, which is invisible, and where he makes his glory to shine from, through his universe, which is part of his creation, which is part of his building, which is part of his authorship. It's a vast temple, the creation. And anyone who helps to maintain it and to till it, in a good sense, well, peace to that being. Because he dwells not in temples made by man, or made of man's hands. He'll only dwell in the temple that he himself has raised and keeps on raising up. So my emphasis and comments and quotes from other sources, that is in these articles, are in bracket and underline. And this is an article taken from the Universal Seduction website. And it's by Nicholas Jones. And I went and checked concerning the copyrighted, and it says that anything that has an asterisk or some kind of a star beside the documents, that it is strictly forbidden to retransmit or republish. But the ones that don't, well, it's okay, as long, like Richard says, that we're not making money out of it, and we're not putting our personal names to these articles that we borrow from other writers and authors, but we use it for the strictly for the edification of the hearers. And openly we confess that there are some articles that we do acknowledge and that we associate ourselves with, and that along the way we correct them if they're in error, but yet we still give credit where credit is due. This article is an overview of how we are controlled by technology, from having our brain waves deliberately changed en masse by transmitters, regulating our state of consciousness, to how we are victims of electromagnetic waves and disrupting the state of our health, and finally, how many of us will die, as decided by the global masters. He said the term "are" there, but I put mine by there because obviously, personally, they are not my masters. I have only one master, and even though I'm in this world, and part of it, obviously I cannot come out of this world. I would have to be flying off somewhere. I'm still part of it, and I choose to disagree within this world environment in regard to some of the things that I hear, and I cipher out as best that I know how to undeceive myself from deceitfulness. So these masters that say that are the global masters, Illuminati elites, I term them. The ground waves emergency network towers are popping up everywhere in America. Rural hilltops, mountains, areas, suburban cities. The cover story is that they're supposed to be used for cell phones communication. But as this article reveals, the global elite has something far more insidious in mind. Earth is wrapped in a donut-shaped magnetic field. Circular lines of flux continuously descend into the North Pole and emerge from the South Pole. The ionosphere and electromagnetic waves conductors 100 kilometers above the Earth consist of a layer of electronically charged particles acting as a shield from solar winds. Natural waves are related to the electrical activity in the atmosphere and are thought to be caused by multiple lightning storms, which of course it's a process that Father Jehovah in creative might and ability has set in motion, not because of evolution. Collectively, these waves are called the Schumann resonance, the current strongest at 7.8 circle per second. These are quasi-standing, extremely low frequency, ELF, so that's throughout the document, waves that naturally exist in the Earth electromagnetic cavity, the space between the ground and the ionosphere. These Earth brain waves are identical to the spectrum of our brain waves. We are wondrously made and awesomely made. This should give us an awe to Father Jehovah for his creativity, power, his might, almighty, what he is able to do. And to a certain extent what man are trying to achieve, but by cutting corners. So there are some numbers and letters that are giving as equals. Radio waves moves at the speed of light, so how fast is the speed of light? Light travels at a constant finite speed of 186,000 miles per second, or if you want to convert it into meters, it's 299,792,458 meters per second, or the time it takes for the light to turn green before the guy behind you starts honking. Or a traveler moving at the speed of light will circumnavigate the equator approximately 7.5 times in 1 second. By comparison, a traveler in a jet aircraft moving at the ground speed of 500 miles per hour would cross the continental U.S. once every 4 hours. So, that gives us a little bit of an idea. The phantomness of speed and the light, and the energy that makes this earth brain-tick, if we could use the term, or its foundation. The Creator, and my emphasis is Jehovah, designed living beings, but I say us, to resonate to this natural frequency, pulsation, in order to evolve harmoniously. So what I gather him, Nicholas Jones, to say is that Father Jehovah, having made parts proportion to each other. We are earthly, folks. And of this earth, we are, even though it says in Genesis that of red mud, or, clay and dust we are made, and we'll go back to it, there still are within us elements that surround